When you build something, even though you plan it out, sometimes you make some mistakes. And today we're going to see how many mistakes I made during this build. Hey Auto Worlders, and welcome to the Auto World Workshop. And today we're finishing the Millennium Falcon inspired cockpit build. We're going to do the overhead. And I planned this out. I had measurements and everything. And like I said in the intro, I made a lot of mistakes. I make these mistakes and I'm going to put them in because there's no other way to see it. But also, so you guys can see that not everything is perfect. Even with editing and everything, sometimes things go wrong. And you just have to adjust and make it work. So in the beginning of this build, you're going to see some footage that you already have seen when we were building the Millennium Falcon cockpit dash, because I was going to do the whole build in one video. But it took me a long time to get to the other part. So I did the dash first. It was a long build also. And I included some of the video of building the shelf and the top portion of the overhead. So that's what we're going to see first. Just a quick recap of this build, and then we get into the details. So I made the overhead that also is going to be a shelf for collectibles. I took out the faceplate and put paper on it to draw out and set up the pieces that are going to be added to it. I have monitor parts, subwoofer parts, an electronic picture frame, and a previous panel that I made. The build link is up above. I prepare all the parts by cleaning them with alcohol, dismantling them, and also sanding. I cut out the places where the parts are going to go to have access for LEDs and more. So this panel was to be self-sustained, so it has batteries. But now I'm going to connect it to a main power source, so all of this has to be taken out before I put it in. So yeah, now let's just stick it in here. Yeah. Great, and there's some space all around so I can screw this in. Yeah, I'll put in some lights later on. I put in some toggle switches here, screwed in the heat sink, and then open up some holes so I can put in this little light cover in here with some LEDs. So what I did was I connected like 6 LEDs all together, put some diffusion in here, opened up this hole so I can put the LEDs in here. So this is going to go on the top of here and just kind of glue it in there, and it'll cover up all those 4 holes. So here it says to cut, but still I'm not sure, because if you saw, there's a lot of holes in that metal plate, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to put LEDs in there just randomly or do something more with it. So for now, I'm just going to pre-drill these holes so I can put those screws in and just have them ready. I just noticed that I screwed this in with the paper, so I got to loosen up these screws, cut the paper out, and just pull it out. Okay, so I cut it out. Here's the piece. Let's see how good my cutting is. Nice. Yep. That'll hold it. Maybe put some more in the back afterwards. Put in a lot more hot glue, just waiting for it to dry. And I'm going to use some of this black paper tape that's used in film industry to just cover the edges so no light will go through if there is some light behind it. I added new LEDs, flashing and non-flashing, to the Droid Eye panel, and connected switches for the Droid Eye and for the LEDs. And this one is for the panel. So I marked under the monitor a couple of places where I'm going to put toggle switches. So I'm going to drill some holes, put in the toggle switches for now. Also added greeblies to some panels. I wanted to put my Blu-ray in the overhead, so I used tape to get a more accurate face measurement. On the top of the metal part, I created this box and faceplate in Fusion 360 and printed it out so I can use it to put some fake screens. I mark and cut out a space for it on the panel. So now to put a base to hold up the DVD player, use this scrap piece of wood. This support piece, spoiler alert, will not work. I added more LEDs and soldered the switches. I tried to see if the DVD player fit and it fit. I think it looks pretty good. It fits great. I will probably put one of these Velcro straps here in the back screwed in and to hold it here on top just to make sure it has extra support in the back. So to do the support, I screwed it in here with a washer, and I'm going to take one of these hooks and I bent it. So this will screw in here, maybe on the top, maybe in here, so I can put the Velcro through, pull it, and adjust it. On this panel, I put in some more LEDs. It had LEDs in here, but it weren't connected. I put in some more LEDs, another LED here. Just got to connect them in the back. So now this is all wired up. All I need to do is connect the power to this, but I don't want these cables like dangling around. So I'm going to secure it with Gorilla Tape. So now here, I'm going to solder a plug so it'll be easier to service this. If I need to fix anything, I don't need to disconnect, just unplug it and it'll be easier. So now let's see how it looks. I put marker around this panel. Why? I don't know. Needed some pinstriping, and now it looks great. I used some aluminum tape to reflect light forward on the fake screen panel. I'm using these continuous LED strips for the fake screen backlight. So I have to pass the plug through this hole. Or do I? And then I noticed. Oh no. I have to put that through there too. Oh no, I don't. I can put it the other way around. Duh. That was very dumb. See if I can make it go around twice. So the plan that I have is on this frame to cut out these different art pieces like screens and just place them like picture frames like that, because this is like kind of a last minute thing and I want to have it done before I have some visitors coming in, but maybe later on I'll just change it. But for now I'm trying like a low budget, something that anybody can do. I did 3D print this. It's just a box and a frame, but these could be printed out and they'll be static, but they'll have lights behind it, so it'll be lit up in the back, and let's see how it turns out. It's like an option for screens if you don't have like actual screens, and it's an experiment. Let's see how it turns out, and maybe later on we can change it in my case, but it might be something that works for you or your room or your project if it's a small project and no budget. Okay, ahora para poner la foto aquí en el frame. So now to put the photo here in the frame is something like this. I want to protect it. So I was thinking of cutting out a piece of this, I don't know, acetate or this plastic that came from a picture frame. And just cut a little strip, stick it in the back. All right. And I could put this picture onto there. Something like that. There it is cut. I don't know if you can see it, but and now that everything is ready, I try to screw the overhead panel back in its place. This was not working. All my mistakes added up to this installation. I got very frustrated and there was even some cursing involved, and in 2 languages, and lots of sweating. Okay, it's this hook. The hook. But I tried and I noticed some previous mistakes and I fixed it, and then another came up and I fixed it, and then another came up. But then I turned off the camera and stopped for a while and relaxed. I stopped to think and made it all work. All that was left now was weathering. And there it was. How many mistakes did you count? Did you count the same that I did? Let's just leave it at that. You can comment down below and see if we have the same count. But I did make a lot of mistakes, and even though it looks like I'm making it up, and sometimes I do make it up as I go, I thought I had everything measured and figured out, but yeah, things happen. We just got to work through it and make it happen. So I hope this inspires you to make a build like this. And also, if it's hard sometimes and you make mistakes and things don't come out the way you want it to come out, just keep moving forward and making your project. Because if you're really invested and you want to make it work, you will make it work. So thank you once again for being here in the Audible Workshop. Give us a like. You can ring the bell so you can be notified when we make more videos. And also you can subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I like to remind you that we also have a Patreon, so you can support us in that way if you want. So once again, see you next time when we make something out of this world.